Building a dry home starts with building a dry foundation, and one of the keys to that is making sure that you engineer the structure so that it is high enough above grade to allow any water from gutters and downspouts to get away from the structure, to slope away on the ground rather than be funneled in around the foundation wall. Now, concrete is naturally porous, so it tends to leak, and that's why it's so important that we waterproof foundation walls. Another critical factor is drainage. It's important that we put drain tile around the perimeter of the foundation so that any water that gets in underneath the slab or around the foundation wall can actually drain into this drain tile and get away, either to daylight or into a sump pump pit where it can be pumped away. Now, it's important that the grade inside the basement be sloped to the sump pit so that any water that builds up will drain to that. You never want to have standing water under a foundation slab. It's important that the gravel be properly compacted and that the slab be poured over that. Now, you want to make sure also that you have plastic underneath the slab because that prevents moisture vapor from coming up through the slab. It's also important to seal any penetrations like saw cuts in the floor. In addition to that, we want to seal any penetrations in the foundation wall where you have form ties or you have plumbing penetrations, anything where water can get through. Basements in general tend to be more prone to mold-related problems because they're damper or wetter. Foundations just tend to be that way. Also, since we don't heat basements, they tend to be cooler, which makes the relative humidity higher, which is more conducive to mold growth. And finally, we tend not to condition these spaces, so we have poor airflow. All these things tend to be more conducive to making basements a little more problematic. But following these tips can go a long way in helping you build a more moisture-resistant home.